So when you're buying a home, there's something called an inspection period. It can be 0 days, it could be 15 days. It really depends on what the buyer and seller agree to. When you use an as-is contract in the state of Florida, it allows for you to cancel your contract at your sole discretion during that inspection period. So that timeline is extremely important. Let's say something happens during that inspection period. There's an open permit, or your inspector finds something wrong and you're concerned about it and you want to get some additional pricing and really understand what you're getting into. If that's the case and you're hitting that deadline, you must do a written extension. Verbal is not acceptable. An email from a real estate agent is not acceptable. Real estate agent is facilitating the contract. They're helping with your negotiations, that entire process, but they are not authorized to extend anything on a purchase and sale agreement, because a purchase and sale agreement is between a buyer and a seller. So if you want to change any dates on your contract, you must have that executed by a buyer and a seller, and it must be done prior to the deadline that's on that contract. The critical dates are extremely important, and there's a lot of things you're going to want to look at in this inspection. You need to understand how old is the roof, how old is the AC, what type of plumbing is in the home. Most home inspectors are not structural engineers. They're not going to be able to tell you if there's something structurally wrong with the property. They're going to tell you whatever they can see and whatever they can diagnose visually. So it's going to be real important to have an inspector that has a construction background. You'd be surprised how many don't. So you want to understand what their background is to make sure that you're hiring somebody that's reputable and understands the construction process. So during that period, you get to check everything. Super important. Go online and check permits. So quite often there could be open permits or no permits. People replace an AC or they put on a new roof. And what would happen is if those things are not permitted and they're required by the municipality, then you as the buyer could now become responsible for those things if, when you get ready to sell the home, that buyer checks and finds out. So make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you understand what you're buying, and make sure you're working with reputable people, real estate agents, inspectors, title companies, lenders. All too often I've seen things happen because people really don't understand what they're doing. So it's important for you to work with somebody that knows what they're doing. Call us today. We're happy to help. And we're going to tell you what happens after that inspection period. Because honestly, it's more work for you and the lender if you're getting a loan. And if you're not getting a loan, then it's just the process of getting title work back. So I'm going to talk about that next so that you understand what those next steps are.